Who would you rather have as your head coach, Mike Woodson or Phil Jackson?
Skip Bayless, at this juncture, it would be Mike Woodson. It would be Mike Woodson. He's presently, by the way, trying to negotiate a deal with the New York Knicks. He's looking to get 4 years, not 3. We'll see what happens with that. I think that when you look at Phil Jackson, there's no denying that if an 11-time world champion head coach called you, you need to listen. Because Phil Jackson's accomplishments are not to be questioned by anybody like me or anybody else for that matter. It's just been exceptional. But he is old now, and his health has not been the greatest. And the last time we saw Phil Jackson, the Los Angeles Lakers were unceremoniously swept out of the Western Conference semifinals by the Dallas Mavericks. He is a brilliant man and a brilliant coach. I'm not here to question his credentials. But what I'm saying is there comes a time when your time appears to be up. And I believe that is the case for Phil Jackson, who knows it, which is why, according to my sources, he's never reached out to Dolan and expressed interest in the Knicks job. Whereas with Mike Woodson, he's a man on a mission that's got a lot to prove. And when you look at the way that the Knicks have played under his stewardship, I believe he deserves the opportunity to move forward and to do what he's doing. You've got Melo, you've got Amari. What you don't have is them together for a full training camp and a full NBA season. And Mike Woodson, even though they were blown out in the semifinals of the Eastern Conference 2 years in a row, improved every single year with Atlanta. Went 47-35 his second to last year, 53-29 his last year. Okay, and we saw what they did with the Knicks. He's done with the Knicks this year.
He did get fired in Atlanta.
He did get fired. He got fired in Atlanta. They got blown out by Orlando, got blown out by Cleveland. The team had no heart as far as I was concerned, and obviously you got to look to the coach, all right, when something like that happens. But I don't think we look at the New York Knicks and see a team devoid of heart and hard work.
I agree.
Willing to play with heart, guts, and play on the defensive end of the floor. I think you see the Knicks moving in this direction, and because of that, why mess with it? Why mess with it at all? I think Woodson deserves a chance, and I would pick him ahead of Phil Jackson.
All right.
You make some very good points. I'm a Woodson fan, even though he did get fired in Atlanta.
Yes.
Some I know question him strategically, his commitment, we can go on and on.
I've never heard that. I've heard them question because it's on defense, all he does is switch. I've heard them question that, but not his commitment.
I can only deal with this question as a best-case scenario.
Yeah.
If I thought that Phil Jackson were completely healthy enough to coach, to withstand the rigors of the...
And wanted it bad.
And that he had reinvigorated desire to coach again.
Okay.
And, this is the big point, that he would want to inflict this roster upon himself. Because I have grave doubts he would not. But you do have 3 really nice pieces there. Whatever you say about Amari, he's still, even though he's not what he used to be, and he's got knee issues, and now he's got all kinds of other health issues, back issues, and this issue, and he still went for 20 and 10 because he wanted to show you he could go for 20 and 10 with his hand stitched together.
That's right.
Okay? And Tyson Chandler was, you can... 1 point. Okay?
But still showed up.
But Tyson Chandler is the defensive player of the year. You can say it was a bad idea, that we should have voted some other direction.
No.
But Tyson Chandler is that good.
He got my vote.
Okay, and we saw what Carmelo was capable of on Sunday at Madison Square.
Right.
Okay? So, if Phil Jackson took this team over, it could go another level than Mike Woodson could take it. So I would jump on that,
but those are a lot of ifs. And I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying those ifs that you bring into the equation is the reason I would stay with Woodson. Of course, if I didn't have any doubts about those from the if perspective that you provided, of course I would pick Phil Jackson. How could you not?
And by the way, if I had an extra $12 million to give Phil, which I don't know, does Dolan want to toss that kind of? No. But listen. You think the Garden was pretty crazy on Sunday for that game, even though they were down 0-3? You put Phil in that seat? Let's see what happens going into next year.
It does take your star power to the next level.
No question. No question about it. It takes your star power to the next level. There is no doubt. But those if factors factor into the equation. Those if factors are the reasons you go with Woodson ahead of Phil Jackson. You cannot, with the New York Knicks flowing in this direction, you simply cannot afford to take a step back.
Yep.
You can't afford to do it now.
So from what you know, bottom line, you're saying no way on Phil Jackson.
I'm saying Woodson is going to be the coach of the New York Knicks next year, without question.